It's time to begin our first project, senior coding students. In this project, you'll have a whole bunch of different review problems, each one relating to a specific topic from this review unit that you're meant to solve. However, part of the challenge of this is that I don't want you to just solve them individually, but I want you to kind of combine them all together into a single program where all your solutions can be viewed in, well, coordinated way altogether. The tendency of students is to create a new file for each different solution. Maybe you want to go a new Python file, one for each problem, so you can keep them all separated out, nice and easy and organized, which is not the worst idea in the world, but part of my challenge for you is to integrate them all together. And in this short video, I want to give you a couple tips for how you can go about doing that without giving too many things away so I don't solve all your problems for you. So you could, for example, let's say I had a problem, a nice simple one, where I asked you to just print out a message that includes some text from the user. So maybe you want to start by saying, "Hello, user. Type in something." And maybe you actually wanted to, well, get an input from the user. So actually I'm going to say, get the input instead of the print statement with that inside of it. And I'm going to assign a user input variable to whatever the response is. And then what I do from here is I just say, maybe I have some other text that's equal to this is my text, here is yours. And then I'm going to show Mr. Owl what I know by merging these things together. So I'm going to say maybe like, I'm going to print out that the result of text plus the user input. So I can see these things kind of being combined together. And then I run this. Hello, user, type in something, something. Okay, this is my text, here is yours, something. So I've solved that individual little challenge by showing how I merge some string information together. And then, okay, I make a little comment here, problem 1, and then I go down, okay, and then next, problem 2. And then I begin to solve problem 2 next. And it just all kind of in a big long chain of things, problem 3 and so on, all the way to the end, to the final problem. So the user kind of goes through one at a time, all the way through the problems until the very end. Now, that would work. However, we can do much better than this, because we know how to use things like conditional logic and loops to be able to set up different scenarios that allows the user to have a lot more custom choice in what's going on here. So what I can do is, instead of just having problem 1 kind of running procedurally, instead I can define a method for problem 1. And in this method, I can have all the functionality for this be inside of this method body, tucked away. I can do the same thing for problem 2. Whatever's involved in this problem, all of the content of this problem 2 content will go here. And now I've built a bunch of different, well, in this case, these are functions in our program here. But if you made it inside of a class, you call it a method. Now what I can do is actually give the user some choice in a menu where if I'm just going to write some pseudocode here. If the user choice equals 1, then maybe from here I run, well, in these, I do it indented here. I'd run problem 1, run the method. Let me just actually, just to be really clear, because we're still in the review section, I'll give away a couple more solutions here. I'm going to say user choice equals input of choose an option. Maybe I provide them a bunch of options in advance. I want to make sure that I cast this to an int for the option that they choose. Then I'm going to say if user choice equals 1, take them to problem 1. And here's something that I see here, an unresolved reference problem 1. What's going on here? Well, I create problem 1 after I create this stuff. So the menu in this case actually should go after I make all of my methods or my functions here. So I make all my functions up top here. Each problem solution is contained in a method, and then I can send the user to it. Elif user choice equals 2. I'm going to send them to problem 2, and so on and so forth. And if I build a loop around this menu, that means that Mr. Owl or whoever else tests this can continually go back to the menu and review the problem again and again and again if they want. It's also a nice way to practice using for loops and while loops and conditional logic to allow the program to be much more enjoyably interactive. So please do set up your project this way. I don't want to see a whole bunch of things in a row, one shot at them. I want you to create some tools, some modular pieces for each problem solution, and then allow the user to choose through a menu like so. You've got to build the rest of it yourself though. Good luck.